HereForYouOK.com to see if you're eligible to enroll. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
A new year means it's time for a new home network that can keep up. With Cox Internet, you have the speed and coverage your family needs to stay connected. You'll enjoy Cox's fiber-based hybrid network with options for fast upload and download speeds. And if your household has lots of connected devices, Panoramic Wi-Fi may be the perfect fit thanks to its additional control features. Plus, with advanced security on Panoramic Wi-Fi, you'll know each connected device is securely protected 24/7. A whole world of connectivity is yours with Cox Internet. Learn more at Cox.com.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Sunday night. I am your humble host, Alan Ray. It's Sunday Night with Alan Ray. We are on X, formerly known as Twitter, that I still call Twitter because just X sounds so weird. Greetings. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining up. We got Rex, we got Raptor, we got Andrew, we got Eric in there. Guys, thanks for swinging in this morning. I really super appreciate it this evening. Wow, yeah, this is going to be a great show right out the bat. I have no idea what time it is. Been a beautiful, beautiful, unexpectedly warm Michigan day. And by warm, I mean almost 50 degrees. I mean, people in Florida, no, they're not going to agree with me. They're going to go, it's really cold. That's not really cold. That's sweatshirt weather. Hey, let's get going. All right, let's start off by making fun of people. Today is Pansexual Pride Day. A day to celebrate pansexual people, recognize their struggles, and advocate for a more inclusive society. No. I don't. Once again, you do what you're going to do, okay? I am no judge of people. You're going to do what you're going to do. I only say two things. Number one, leave kids out of it. Number two, don't make me live your delusions and your fantasies. All right? If you want to fall in love with a tree, go ahead, man. But don't force your kid to do something like that. And leave children out of it. Don't be a pedophile. And leave me out of it. I've got my own things. I've got things I want to be and do. So there it is. There it is. I don't care. December 8th is Pansexual Pride Day. December 9th is going to be People Who Want to Just Be Left Alone Day. People who don't need 24/7 validation over their life choices. That's my day. Screw the rest of these people. All right, we started out by offending people. That's good. We're off to a head start. Let's do sports ball for a minute. Anybody want to talk sports ball? It's that time of year. We are in almost to the middle of December. Lord have mercy, it's the 8th already. I haven't even, well, I can't say I haven't started Christmas shopping yet. I've started Christmas shopping. I've pointed and clicked a few buttons. Clap, please clap. Orty's in the chat. Hello, Orty. I do that all the time. I do that at least once a week at KLRN. If you find yourself on Twitter, X, whatever, and it's Sunday night, it's about 9:07, look for the KLRN Radio, at KLRN Radio profile, X. And if you scroll down, you will find Sunday Night with Alan Ray being broadcast live streaming, where we only have 59 measly views. That's right. If I can offend you, I'm doing something right. That's right, Andrew. 59 lousy views, but that's okay. That's okay. It's 59 people. Yep. Thank you for the applause. That are doing this instead of watching sports ball or whatever. So it's that time of year, and by that time of year, I mean we are looking at wrapping up football games, regular season college football games. Regular season college football games, you know, it's a kind of a big deal. It's fun. College football is fun. College sports ball is always a good time. You never know what's going to happen. These aren't professionals. They want to be professional, so they actually make an effort. And it's kind of cool. You never know who's going to wind up where. Well, today, the college football bowl schedule came out. And I scrolled through it. I scrolled through it all. And it occurred to me that the college football bowl schedule is the direct result of the participation trophy generation. What do I mean? Well, just for kicks, I went back to the 1979/80 NCAA football bowl game schedule. All right. Started around December 15th. Oh, yeah, we're getting up there, Raptor. Thanks. It's increasing. Hey, if you are listening to this, jump into that chat. Let me know you're here. Even if you just say hi. Anyways, I jumped over to the Wikipedia, which they want you to donate, and I don't because it's, you know, left-wing nut jobs running it. And some of it's actually pretty factual. You can find some things on there that are fairly factual. You can at least find links that lead you to factual information. Well, this is some factual information. The 79-80 NCAA bowl games. There were 15 bowl games. Remember this? Remember this? You're old like me. 15 bowl games. And they had names like the Garden State Bowl, the Independence Bowl, the Holiday Bowl, the Sun Bowl, the Liberty Bowl, the Tangerine Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Gator Bowl. I mean, these are all pretty recognizable. The Peach Bowl, the Hall of Fame Classic. Okay, the Cotton Bowl. Everybody remembers the Cotton Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Orange Bowl. And then there was, of course, you know, the Rose Bowl, big Rose Bowl parade. And that happened on January 1st, the big Rose Bowl parade. Everybody watched it. And, you know, it was usually like USC versus somebody because USC had a dynasty back then. And it was usually either Ohio State or Michigan because, you know, they had just played a few weeks before and beat each other's brains out. And whoever ended up living through that, you know, a lot of times, you know, and then you got Notre Dame once in a while and things like that. And that's how you spent your week between Christmas and New Year's watching bowl games. Flash forward, my friends, to 2024/25. We now have 44 bowl games. 44. We have 4 playoff games and 1 national championship. So starting December 14th and running through, who knows when, next summer maybe? When's the national championship game? Let's scroll down to that. I'm missing a massive list. National championship game, January 30th. January 20th. January 20th is the college football playoff national championship. So we have effectively over a month of bowl games. Now, if you scroll through these bowl games, and I know a lot of you don't really want to hear sports ball, but stick with me for a minute. This is fun. This just shows you how ridiculous things have gotten. We have names like the Cricket Celebration Bowl. Gone are the names like the Cotton Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Peach Bowl, the Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl. Things that you could just say real quick. Yeah, the Orange Bowl. Did you see the Orange Bowl? Yeah, I saw the Orange Bowl. No. Let me ask you this. Have you seen the Art of Sport LA Bowl hosted by Gronk? Because that's going to be California versus UNLV. The Art of Sport LA Bowl hosted by Gronk. And they have to say that every time they mention this bowl, they have to say that whole thing. Or how about the Scooter Coffee Frisco Bowl, Memphis versus West Virginia? Or the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. Or the Staff DNA Cure Bowl. There's another good one over here. Here's a great one. And I'll probably watch this because, military. The Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. What, are they going to duke it out with tanks and airplanes out on the field? It's Oklahoma versus Navy, in case you're interested. That should be pretty good. This is the best one. Let me get to this one. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. I'm not making this up. Folks, I am not making this up. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dr. Dre and Snoop. It's Miami of Ohio versus Colorado State in Tucson, Arizona. Yeah, you're exactly right, Raptor. And I don't know if I can mention that because it is funny. U of M dropped their DEI processes in some of their hiring. Of course, you do have the Pop-Tarts Bowl. That's in Orlando. That's Iowa State versus Miami. And, and in case you want to know, where did it go? Michigan did get into a bowl game. And it's going to be pretty interesting because it's going to be Michigan versus Alabama. It's not going to be the caliber that it was last year. And I don't know if Michigan stands a chance. They might, because Alabama's fallen just as far as Michigan has. That is the ReliaQuest Bowl on December 31st in Tampa, Florida. Alabama versus Michigan. No, you can't call it the Snoop Bowl. You cannot call it the Snoop Bowl. Yep, Rex, you've seen that too. They get to play Alabama. Alabama versus Michigan. Will there be vengeance? I get the feeling it might be pretty good. I get the feeling that there's going to be some hard feelings left over from last year. And even though the coaches are different and players are different, you go in there with a reputation. Here's a big one. And this one, it actually ends up being fairly important. And where'd it go? Scrolling through. Oh, you got 68 Ventures Bowl. That's Arkansas State and Bowling Green. Who cares? The Game Above Sports Bowl. What is Game Above? Game Above Sports Bowl is Pittsburgh versus Toledo. Toledo's always good. Here we go. In the CFP first round game, and you do, like I said, you've got 4 first-round playoff games. It's number 9 Tennessee at number 8 Ohio State in Columbus, Ohio. That is going to be a pretty good game. Now, I am a secret Volunteers fan. I spent 2 years in Tennessee, and I still have Volunteer hat and Volunteer shirt. I became kind of a Vols fan when I was down there. So just to get on Raptors' nerves in chat, I'm probably going to have to go with Tennessee on that one. They're going to get beat, but I'm going to have to root for them anyway. I just think that, and I know that Michigan beat Ohio State again, and that was a crazy game. But let's face it, Day is a good coach. He's a winning coach. He finds ways to win. The only thing I think he's got a mental coaching problem with U of M. If he can overcome that, he'd be a great coach. But he's a winning coach. And so Tennessee better buckle up because they're in for a ride. I can tell you that right now. It's just being completely realistic. So you have 49 bowl games. Everybody gets a participation trophy. But just because it is named, thusly, I am definitely going to have to watch the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by Dr. Dre and Snoop. Are they going to have Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre actually do the commentary on that? Because I think they should announce the game. I think Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre should announce the game. Have Snoop Dogg up there firing one up in the press box, and just do. If you've ever heard Snoop Dogg do the animal shows, it's hysterical. I think he'd be a great football commentator. It's Miami of Ohio versus Colorado State. If they came out tomorrow and said, hey, guys, just so you know, Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre are going to be in the press box. They're going to actually be announcing this game. I guarantee you that would be the most popular bowl game of the month. Screw the national championship and all of the big important bowls. Everybody would be tuning in to watch Miami of Ohio versus Colorado State. I guarantee you. Rex, you're right there. He says, I would 100% watch it if they did this. Who wouldn't? I would. Make this happen. Guys, Arizona Bowl, make this happen. I want Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre in the press box announcing the game. And I don't even care how far south it goes. You put it on cable so they can cuss and do whatever. I think it would be great. I think it'd be the best thing on the planet. Yeah, Rex has seen them too. Rex and Chaz, I love Snoop narrating those shows. If you haven't watched it, just go on YouTube and just put Snoop Dogg Animal Show, and it'll come up with him, and they're crazy. They need to do this. I need this to happen in my life. Speaking of things happening in my life, Detroit won again. They won against the Green Bay Packers. It was an ugly game. It was a bad game. Detroit does not even have anybody on the defensive line that started out the year. They're all gone. They've been replaced by they're going out and finding people in the stands to play the game. Okay, it's that bad. They're bringing in people who are cut from other teams. They're bringing in people from other people's practice squads. And somehow they're making this all work. Now there's starting, and they've made the playoffs. The Lions are in the playoffs. Again, second year in a row. This has never happened in my life. We've never seen a 12-1 Lions in my lifetime. Ever. Actually, I don't think they've ever had them. But rumors are starting to circulate that people like Aiden Hutchinson are coming back, and some of the other big defensive hitters are coming back. If all of Detroit's defense came back before the playoffs in the NFL, you're looking at 3-4 player deep rosters of everybody that knows the program, is battle hardened, who has won big games, and can just next man up, just like Detroit's been saying all year. Next man up, next man up, next man up. Throw somebody in there. It's the process. Make sure they know how to play. Make sure they're tough. Make sure they're gritty. Throw them in there. Next man up. Run to the ball and get the play. If they have that kind of defense, who's going to stop them? This is going to get ugly. It's going to get crazy. That's the big question of 2024-25. Will I, in my lifetime, see the Detroit Lions just get to the Super Bowl? They don't have to win it. They just have to get there. If they get there, I can die a happy man. I'll be fine. Will it happen? This reminds me a lot of the 1995-6 Detroit Red Wings. Last year was kind of the 95-96 Detroit Red Wings, okay? Great season. On top of it, they were pretty beat up. This year, they're gelled. They're hardened. They keep getting these people in there that are just total monsters. People are getting healthy. They're starting to come back. And this kind of reminds me of the same feeling Michigan had in 1997 when the Red Wings went to the playoffs and decided they were just going to win the Stanley Cup. They're just going to do it all. It kind of reminds me of that same feeling. Let's see if that goes through. Like any other sports ball, I'm not going to live or die by it, but it is kind of cool. So there you go. That's a good question. Jen, or on Rick and Jen's show that we have here on KLRN Radio, I wonder if Jen does know Snoop. They need to announce that game. It just has to happen. I hate to repeat myself like that. So anyways, you got other disastrous bowl names like the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. We do still have the Hawaii Bowl. That's kind of cool. The Rate Bowl. The Rate Bowl. That's Rutgers versus Kansas State. Rate Bowl. Be careful how you say that. What else you got? The DirecTV Holiday Bowl, whatever. DirecTV. I kicked them guys out of here a long time ago. The SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. Yeah, it just showed you. It's all commercials. That's all it is they're just commercials. They've got big businesses doing this. TransPerfect Music City Bowl. The TransPerfect Music City Bowl. That's Iowa versus Missouri in Nashville. The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. They're great. Now, the Cheez-Its Citrus Bowl. Let's talk about that for a minute. The Cheez-Its Citrus Bowl. That's South Carolina versus Illinois. Both unranked. Nobody cares. They're unranked. Why do you have unranked people playing in bowls? You shouldn't even have University of Michigan playing in a bowl. You shouldn't have Alabama playing in a bowl this year. It's all a draw. I'm sorry. Back in 79 and 80, you had your ranked teams pretty much playing the bowl games. Yeah, you had a few unranked in there playing, but most of the ranked teams are the people who are playing the bowl games. Now, thanks to the participation trophy generation, everybody and their mother's in a game. I'm surprised Siena Heights College in Adrian's not in one of these bowl games. We'll see what happens. So there you have it. Stupid bowl games, stupid bowl names. 49 games in a little over a month. Are you ready for that? I mean, if you like college football that much, you're going to be really happy. If you don't, well, read a book. Listen to this show. Listen to this show instead. It's 9:24. We got a whole lot to talk about. There's a lot of very serious things going on in the world. Things that really make you sit up and take notice. And we got to talk about these because surely we can't be silent.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
So we're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, managing your medications from home is simple. With our easy-to-use prescription drug plans, you can get the medicine your doctor prescribes from your local pharmacy or even delivered by mail. For the trusted care you need and want, Blue Cross will be here with more convenient ways of getting it. Like we've been for more than 80 years. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senioroptions.
Hey, Randy, what you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. I'm just making a list of things that make me feel really, really good.
Wearing Bombas socks.
Trust me, that's number one on my list. Bombas socks feel so good because we use the smartest design and best materials, making them the most comfortable socks ever.
Plus, because socks are the number one most requested clothing item in homeless shelters, we donate a pair for every pair purchased, and that feels pretty good, too.
To shop Bombas or learn more about how your purchase supports those experiencing homelessness, go to bombas.com/comfy and get 20% off your first purchase.
Today, this breakfast isn't just breakfast. It might be the first McDonald's breakfast you're having at McDonald's again. This lunch might be a weekly tradition you hadn't had in weeks. And this dinner might be the first one you bought for not just you in a while. Whatever this order is for you, McDonald's will be here to take it.
Get more of the chicken you love with a delicious McChicken sandwich for $1. And for an extra buck, add a refreshing Dr. Pepper. Dining rooms are starting to reopen in certain communities at participating McDonald's. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
It is Sunday Night with Alan Ray. I'm your humble host, Alan Ray. It is the show where we look around this great, big, giant, blue ghetto ball that we're hurtling through space at an astronomical speed, and we ask the eternal question.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I don't know. If you tell me, we'll both know. Weird stuff. Odd things have been going around. Of course, we all know that shooting happened in New York, and Crime Stoppers, as NYPD, Crime Stoppers, yada, yada. They're releasing 2 new photos of the man sought in killing of the United Healthcare CEO. Now, I have seen some pretty vulgar things on social media. And if you're one of these people, well, he deserved to get assassinated. You're a jerk. You're a jerk. You're a loser. You're subhuman. Nobody should be assassinated in cold blood out in the middle of the street. Is the guy a jerk? Probably. I have major problems with insurance companies. That doesn't mean somebody needs to be assassinated. Okay? That doesn't. There's a time and a place for somebody to face the death penalty. That's not the time or the place. That being said, this person who did this, I saw the video, and my very, very first thought was, this is a hit. This is a hit. This is somebody that's trained, somebody that knew what they were doing, somebody that took a lot of time and effort, that has done this before and off them. I don't think that much anymore. In fact, I'm looking at this guy. He kind of looks beta-ish, and he kind of looks like somebody that spent copious amounts of times in the basement playing video games and watching crime scene movies and has done his homework. But I'm looking at what he's done now, and I think he's just another psychopath that has done his homework. Has he been influenced by maybe somebody else? We're not going to mention any names. We're not going to point fingers in any bureaucracies, but has he been groomed to do what he just did? I don't know. You don't know. We will probably never know. But he was very meticulous about keeping a mask on. In 2024, people wear masks because it's acceptable to still be paranoid over COVID, which has now basically been milked down to a head cold. The only picture they have of him without his mask on is he pulled his mask down one time and the camera got him and smiled at somebody. Now, this is according to Associated Press and NPR, so who knows how reliable it is, because we all know they lie through their teeth. But they've seen him smiling on a security camera. They don't know his name. They found the backpack he discarded while fleeing, but don't know where he's gone. He has been really meticulous about, he had paid cash for everything he's done. He gave a fake ID when he rented the room, paid cash for it. The guy knows what he's doing. He's done his work. He's watched all of the police shows. But late Saturday, police released 2 additional photos of the suspected shooter that appeared to be from a camera mounted inside a taxi. The first shows him outside the vehicle, and the second shows him looking through the partition between the back seat and the front of the cab. In both, his face is partially obscured by a blue medical-style mask, which is normal wear for people probably in New York City and Ann Arbor and places like that. Retracing the gunman's steps using surveillance video, police say it appears he left the city by bus soon after the shooting Wednesday morning outside of the New York Hilton Midtown. He was seen on video at an uptown bus station about 45 minutes later. With a high-profile search expanding across state lines, the FBI announced late Friday it was offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction, adding a reward of up to $10,000 that the NYPD has offered. So they're after this guy for 60 G's. Police say they believe the suspect acted alone. Well, we'll see about that. And whether he acted alone or not, you and I, humble serfs, will never know. Especially, I mean, it appears to me like it was a hit. Or it could be somebody who didn't get some insurance and they bankrupted or something. Or a family member was devastated by insurance that turned people down or something like that. We don't know. We just don't know. And I think it's going to take them more than, a few days to figure out who this person is unless they catch a huge break. But he did all the things right. He did everything the way that somebody that wanted to get away with a crime would do. He said the fact that the shooter, this is from one of the detectives, so the fact that the shooter knew United Healthcare Group was holding a conference at the hotel and what route Thompson might take to get there suggested that he could possibly be a disgruntled employee or a client. Or he was hired to take him out. That's what I'm thinking more. I still would like to think that maybe he was hired to take him out. Raptor in chat says he thinks he was Antifa out of Atlanta. Okay. He kind of, just looking at what you can see of his face, he kind of has that Antifa look. Whatever it is, he gave the police a challenge, that's for sure. And it's going to be hard to catch him. Police said they've determined from the video that the gunman had been in the city for 10 days before the shooting. He arrived at Manhattan's main bus terminal on a Greyhound bus that originated in Atlanta, though it's not clear whether he embarked there or at one of about a half dozen stops along the route. So immediately after that, he took a cab to the vicinity of the Hilton and was there for about a half hour. Around 11 p.m. on the night he arrived, he went by taxi to HI New York City Hostel. It was there while speaking with an employee in the lobby that he briefly pulled down the mask and smiled, giving investigators a brief glimpse they are now relying on to identify and capture the killer. Now, two thoughts. Number one, when you murder somebody high profile, such as the CEO of a giant insurance company, they're going to send everybody and their mother after you. Now, if this would have been some thug shooting another person of absolutely no value or importance in the street and walking away, there would be no rewards. There would be no major, massive manhunt. In fact, they would probably just write it off, say, well, probably never going to find that person again, and go on about their business. What you're seeing right now is called money buys justice. Influence buys justice. Now, I'm not trying to sound like some kind of namby-pamby Democrat or something, but I'm just pointing out the fact that because this was a CEO of a big, giant corporation, this kid will be hunted down to the ends of the earth. If this would have been just a regular person walking down the street and got shot, this would already be out of the news cycle. You'd never hear about it again. It would probably be a cold case by now, and it just would go away. That's how the system works in the United States. Just a cold, hard fact. If you want justice, you got to have money. If you want justice, you have to be able to be high profile. If that would have been, I don't know, if that would have been Lady Gaga that got shot, there'd be a massive, they'd call the military in. That's because, as a rule, the media, especially the media, and between you and I, if the media didn't keep reporting on it, we'd forget about it in 24 hours because that's horrible. What a terrible thing. And then we'd go on our way, we'd forget about it. But because it gets pushed in the media because, that's probably one of their, demigods. Because, insurance, yeah, you're forced to have insurance. It's one of their demigods, so it'll get pushed to the ends of the earth. Yes, he will be Clintoned. And when they catch this kid, when they put him in a jail, if you will be able to tell if he was hired by somebody, if that somebody maybe had connections in the government or bureaucracy, that young man will be Clintoned. They will find him dead in his jail cell. That will be the telltale giveaway sign that this was probably something done, I don't know, by the bureaucracies to get rid of somebody that's undesirable. Let's move along. I've been noticing, unless you've lived under a rock for the past several months, this country has taken a sharp right turn in this election. We are not the only ones who are getting rid of the socialist Democrats, the socialist globalists, the ones who are beholden to the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, the United Nations, the people who want a planetary government and to make it socialist and to drain the wealthy countries so they can give millions and millions of dollars to rich dictators in third world countries so they can feel better about themselves. And that's not why they're doing it at all. They're giving this money to third world dictators so they can enslave the people that are under them. They don't like to tell you that, but that's what it's like. And if you don't believe me, just ask them, watch what they say. We've watched the Democrat leadership, and we've heard them for the last 4 years. When you rise up about people coming over the border illegally, what is their first response? Well, if we deport everybody, your vegetables are going to go sky high in price, and nobody's going to be there to clean your hotel rooms. So you're saying that basically the only reason you want them here is for behind-the-scenes slave labor, because it's a better shot of them not even making minimum wage, getting $1 an hour, basically slave labor, working in sweatshops. That's why you want them. No, you can't say that. That's racist. No, that's what you're saying, Democrats. Well, this is going on all over the world. That's not just in the United States of America. It is going on. This whole global socialist takeover has been going on for several years now in the world. And you are starting to see people rise up and flush the toilet. The latest being Belgium. Now, they were really worried last week, super worried, and I didn't get to this story, and shame on me, that the far-right, they call this the far-right anti-immigration Vlaams Belang Party. Now, they're not far-right. They're anti-illegal immigration, like most regular, normal-thinking people are. But, of course, this is what the Associated Press is going to call them, because the Associated Press is beholden to the United Nations and the World Economic Forum and all of these giant places that want global socialism / communism. And AP thinks that they're going to end up on top of this heap, being AP. But what they said is the Flemish Nationalist parties dominated general elections in Belgium on Sunday as Prime Minister Alexander De Croo's Liberal Party took a hit. And by liberal, they mean socialists. With a difficult coalition talks to form a new government now looming. Now, it said, despite polls predicting that the far-right anti-immigration Vlaams Belang Party would become the main political force in the country with 11.5 million inhabitants, the right-wing nationalist New Flemish Alliance retained its first spot. So, in other words, what they call the far-right, the Vlaams Belang Party, they're anti-immigration. They're extremists. Well, they're there. They've got a big chunk of the votes. They came in second in the election with a 17.5%. The New Flemish Alliance, I don't know what any of this stuff means, but they're right-wing nationalists. They like to paint these people as evil. Well, they're right-wing nationalists, or they're far-right anti-immigration. So these are all the bad people according to the AP, which means they're probably the good people. The right-wing nationalist New Flemish Alliance, NVA, retained its first spot with expected 22% of the votes, which means the Socialist Vooruit Party, the ones that have been in charge, the Prime Minister Alexander De Croo's Liberal Party, it's a socialist root party. Now we get to who that is. They're socialists. Garnered 10.5% of the votes. Now, De Croo's party is a separate part of that socialist party. They call them the Liberal Party, but, they're all socialists, liberals, whatever, same thing. Got 7% of the votes. which means, let me just boil it down to its purest form, that once again in yet another nation, socialism, liberalism, has been kicked to the curb, just like it was in the United States of America. UN, League of Nations, all of them. One nobody talks about in chat, or Raptor says, UN or the League of Nations. Whatever. Yeah. The Roman League is another one of those WEF style, World Economic Forum style. The Roman League is wow, I fell down that rabbit hole a while back. And let me get into the great Google machine. Is that exactly what they call them? And the only difference between the World Economic Forum, what do they call this? Can't even find it. League of Rome, maybe? I got to find what their official name is. Anyways, the only difference between them and the World Economic Forum is that they don't believe in climate change. They don't believe in man-made climate change. That's the only difference between the two groups. They're both evil. They're both run by billionaires. They both want to dominate the world. But we don't hear a whole lot about them, and we'll have to go down that rabbit hole one time. Gosh, I'm having an old man moment here. I can't. I thought it was League of Rome. Somebody in chat find that for me. It's either a League of Rome, Roman League, something like that. They are a very wealthy, and these are where a lot of your policies come from. These are where a lot of your left-wing globalist policies come from, is these places with these billionaires who have untold financial resources. They write up a lot of this legislation, and they hand it to people in our government and say, this is what needs to happen. And our government picks through it and says, yeah, okay, and they turn it into as, policy, or they try to get it passed as law. Those 2,000-page laws, a lot of those are rife with stuff from these World Economic Forum, United Nations policymakers that are trying to have their way with our country. And the sooner we realize that a lot of these policies come from outside of the United States, the sooner we can fight back. We have to get this word out to people in the nation. It's insane that this stuff happens, but Foundation, places like that, they are setting our policies in this nation. But people are fighting back. Belgium is just another one in the long list of people who are starting to fight back. The United States of America fought back. Kamala was supposed to be queen. And I know everybody's like, well, she only had a few months to prepare. No, she didn't. She didn't. The left needs to stop lying. Democrats need to stop lying. They knew from day one that they were going to do the bait and switch, and they were going to replace Joe Biden with Kamala Harris because somebody, some Soros or some WEF needed a brainless puppet as president, another brainless puppet as a president. Kamala Harris was the perfect brainless puppet for president. They knew she was going to be running for president. I'm going to go say that they probably knew in 2020. They probably knew at least by 2022 that Joe Biden was shot. His brain was gone. He is a mumbling, bumbling, brainless, dementia-ridden old man who was biting his wife's finger and wandering off stage. They knew that he was not going to go 8 years. They had to know. These are not stupid people. They're diabolical people. There's a big difference. And just to go on my rants and conspiracy theories from before, the MO, the method of operation that we're seeing from the left, the far left, the extremists, is you get a brainless puppet backed by a think tank. You push that brainless puppet in the public's eye. You tell that brainless puppet what to do, what to say. You give them teleprompters and write every word so they get it right. You make them look like, and you got, of course, you got the media in your hip pocket. So you polish that turd, you polish that turd, you polish that turd. You make that turd as shiny as you can. But that turd is brainless. That turd has no substance. And when that turd gets off script and out on their own, they have no idea what they're doing. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is one. There's a lot of them in the Democrat Party. Brainless puppets. Kamala Harris was a big one. And again, nobody wanted her in 2020. Nobody. She couldn't carry her own state. She was a horrible candidate. Somebody demanded that she end up as vice president. She was not popular. And of course, they knew Biden wasn't going to be able to run in 2024. He wasn't going to be able to run this year. We knew that. And the more he fell apart, the more these people were probably rubbing their hands together going, okay, here we go. You cannot convince me at all that she wasn't preparing for this as far back as 2022, that she wasn't being coached for this as far back as 2022. Do you think that bad blood between the Bidens and Kamala Harris just happened overnight? No. They probably were told this many, many months ago, and Biden probably fought back because he's an egotistical narcissist. He always has been. He's just as brainless. He always has been. Yeah, here's the thing. And I hate to be like this, and I'm sure it's going to make some people mad on the right. Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders would have been at least a sincere candidate. Bernie Sanders is a freeloading socialist jerk. But he admits it. He has his own ideas. He has his own methods. He has his own ways. And if you're a socialist, you like Bernie Sanders. He at least could think for himself. He at least can speak for himself. But they kicked him to the curb 2 separate times. Because that's not who they want. They want a brainless puppet that they can control. And by they, I mean whoever is behind the scenes controlling our government and the Democrat Party right now. This is what Donald Trump is running into. And that's why they hate him. That's really why they despise Donald Trump, is because they can't buy him. And after 8 years of trying to find something they can convict him on, they weren't successful at that. And he goes off and says whatever he wants. Makes fun of whoever he wants, disrespects anyone he wants, and they can't do a thing about it, and it just enrages these people. Fan of Donald Trump or not, you have to like that. You have to think that that's pretty funny, that the reason they hate him is they can't control him. They want people in the White House they can control him. By they, I mean the big money, left-wing socialists, Bill Gates's, George Soros's, Jeff Bezos. You see, they don't have Elon Musk anymore. He turned on them. When he realized just how far left the Democrats had gotten, he turned on them. Now he is the whipping child. He is the one that needs to be purged, scorned. Needs him out of here. And it kind of makes me laugh. I mean, just watching. I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. Just watching these people fall apart because they can't control the president. Hopefully this becomes a trend. But it's not just happening here. You need to wake up to the fact that this is happening all over the world. All right, we got 10 minutes to go. This will ruin a lot of people's Christmas. This is ladbible.com. December 8th, 2024. The coffin of Santa Claus was discovered by archaeologists after 1,600 years. What? I thought Santa Claus was still alive. Boy, this is really going to screw up Christmas. Yes, a coffin has been uncovered by archaeologists in Turkey that is believed to belong to the original Santa Claus. Now, of course, we don't mean the sleigh-driving, reindeer-owning Santa, but rather the early Christian bishop, St. Nicholas, who inspired the jolly Christmas present giver. Situated in Demre, Antalya, Turkey, the St. Nicholas Church has been an excavation site since 1989 for researchers, as it is believed to be the final resting place of one St. Nicholas of Myra, who passed away in 343 AD. He was Greek. I did not know Santa Claus was Greek. I learned something new today. Good Lord. And he also inspired both Santa Claus and Sinterklaas, a similar Dutch festive figure. Sinterklaas. Hello, I am Sinterklaas. History states that the bishop helped the less fortunate, going as far as to spend his inheritance on helping those in need. St. Nicholas also gave secret gifts, leaving coins in people's shoes. My cat leaves things in my shoes. My cat is a very good cat. He leaves things in my shoes. Presents. Some of them I don't really want. But anyways, it looks like archaeologists have stumbled across something to do with the popular religious figure. He died and was buried at the site of his church, though Byzantine Emperor Theodosius II requested that an even bigger church be built on the same site in his honor. Oh, they have found Santa Claus's bones. Sorry, kids. Santa's dead. Oh, whoops. What else is going on in this wonderful world that is so great? Oh, yeah. Let's get into this one. This is a good one. I tried to get it to this one last week, and I ran it and raved too much. There's been a lot of talk of Donald Trump coming into office and putting tariffs on different nations. Oh, they're going to raise prices on everything. Oh, my goodness, we're all going to die, yada, 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 yada. Well, what they haven't told you yet is Joe Biden is raising tariffs on things. You, my friends, will find this very interesting. This is according to Reuters. U.S. just set tariffs for solar panels from Southeast Asian nations. And this is from November 19th. It says U.S. trade officials announced that a new round of tariffs on solar panel imports from 4 Southeast Asian nations after American manufacturers complained that companies there are flooding the market with unfairly cheap goods. It is the second of 2 preliminary decisions that President Joe Biden's Commerce Department is making this year in a trade case brought by Korea's Hanwha Q-Cells, Arizona-based First Solar Inc., and several smaller producers seeking to protect billions of dollars in investments in the U.S. solar manufacturing. The group, the American Alliance for Solar Manufacturing Trade Committee, and I had no idea they even made solar panels in the United States. I thought every one of those doggone things were Asian-made. Accused big Chinese solar panel makers with factories in Malaysia, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Thailand of causing global prices to collapse by dumping products into the market. Isn't that what they want? Isn't that what don't they want cheap solar so that everybody has 25 solar panels on their house? I thought that's what we were going for here, folks. This is green energy. Shouldn't it be cheap? Shouldn't it be practically free? I mean, climate change, it's right there. It's a socialist ideal. Why wouldn't it all be free? Why are they complaining about this? But I digress. According to a preliminary decision posted on the U.S. Commerce Department's website on Friday, the agency calculated dumping duties between 21.31% and 271.2%, depending on the company, on solar cells from Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam. Let me repeat myself. They want tariffs between 21.3% and 271.2%, depending on the company. I was under the impression, according to the same people, the Democrats, that tariffs were going to destroy this country, that we should not be putting tariffs on anybody, that's a horrible idea. And here we are messing with their God, climate change. Is this hypocrisy or what? The solar panels should be free. I should be able to go down to my local Harbor Freight and just grab a solar panel and walk out with it and say, bill the government. Yeah, I use them to run my radio equipment. I use them to charge my little battery dealios that I've got here, which I had to use this week because we lost power. Yep, we had a really bad storm blow through here. Winds picked up, had snow. It was kind of nasty for a while, and we ended up losing power. And I didn't break out the AC 180, but I did bring out the EB3, the little bitty one, and I ran a couple of lights on it all night long, and it worked tremendously. Because I got home on time to fire up the big generator and get the heat going, because it's really all I really wanted was the heat and the the well pump. Because heat and water, that's the main thing. So I've kind of figured out on these battery banks that I have from Bluetti that they're really, really good at using the big, giant, heavy-duty 6,500 watt generator, just sticking it out front or out back by the garage, firing it up, running the heater, the furnace, the boiler, and running, maybe the freezer out in the laundry room, and running my well pump. Let it do all of that. These battery banks I can keep right here inside, and I can plug all kinds of stuff into them. You can even plug your coffee pot and stuff like that into the AC-180, and it won't kill it. You can plug a refrigerator into that all night long, and it'll still have quite a bit of charge left. So there you go. But to recharge them on solar, I think because, socialists, I think these solar panels should be free. So when they talk about tariffs and how bad they are, I want you to file that little nugget of information into your little beans and bring that out. That's right. Eric says, yes, Virginia, there's a Santa Claus. He's buried under the church over there. And Rex says, I have a small power pack, has a solar panel on one side. It's a great device. They really are. I've got a 100-watt solar panel, and I've got about 4 or 5 other various solar panels. I'm getting another 100-watt one because 200 will really charge this AC-180 up really well from Bluetti. And like I said, I think I've come to a pretty decent way of setting everything up. Where before I had to run cords inside and do all this stuff, and now I don't have to do that. I can keep the generator out where I can't hear it as much, and I can run everything else. And if it's a good day and I really don't have to have heat, I can run these 2 battery packs and sleep in peace because I can run the fridge out of it if I want to. I can plug lights into them. I can charge phones with them, and then I can use one to power it and the other one to solar charge. So I'm getting a rhythm down with the whole proper thing with these battery banks. It's a learning curve. We'll see how it goes. So, and that little EB3, the little tiny one, you could take that anywhere. I mean, you could pick that up with one hand. It hardly weighs anything. I was thinking of when we go on vacation next year, I'm probably going to throw that and a fold-up solar panel in the car. Just take it with us because we're going way up into Canada. Almost to a parallel where Sault Ste. Marie is in the Upper Peninsula, and then we're going over to Sault Ste. Marie and coming back through Michigan. That's going to be my vacation next year. Yep, there you go, Andrew. Come on down. We got chickens running around out here. We got deer. We can feed you. We got cigars. We got whatever you need. All right, it's 10 o'clock, and I know that Rowdy Rick is probably not going to do a show tonight. That's fine. That's right, Wolverines, and I don't mean Michigan Wolverines. We're going full Wolverines when the proverbial doo-doo hits the fan. Guys, thanks for joining in. 412 views tonight. Pretty good night. We ranted, we raved, we talked about sports ball, we talked about politics. We didn't get to Syria with the fall of boy, that's going to be something odd to think about. Syria is in a lot of turmoil right now, and I know they got rid of a tyrant, but I'm really leery about the people taking over Syria right now. The world's kind of falling apart. We're going to see what happens when Trump, and it's already starting to kind of snap back into place because there's nothing like people fearing who's taken over America to get them to start behaving again. We may see 4 more years of peace, and if that's the case, it's going to be real hard for the left to make a case against having somebody in power that can't be bought. I'm Alan Ray. Thanks for joining me tonight. Keep it locked on KLRN Radio all week long, right here on X. We got the best in shows. We got the best in podcasts. Sunday through Sunday. It's 7 days a week now, folks. We have fun, all kinds of fun. So hang with us. Keep enjoying it. Hit like buttons on if you listen to us afterwards. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. You name it. We're there. Any place you can find podcasts. Give us a like. Give us a little bit of love. God bless you. God bless America. We'll talk again soon. Peace.